This one, it might get some people angry. I'm like, guys, chill. Can we let them be friends in real life, please? And just strip them on screen. Is that possible? Can we do that? Like, can we do that? What's a girl gonna do? Okay, you give me a ship, you expect me not to get attached to it, except for some ships. But anyway, that'll be touched on later. Save the violent tendencies for after the podcast. I see a lot of fans saying, you know, Liam is better, Phineas is better. They don't like either of them, so I thought it would be good for me to put it all out on the table so you guys can make, I don't want to say more informed decision because that makes me sound like I have an ego. And the whole kind of main issue of what everything we've discussed so far is like, what are we doing there? Like, what is this? Like, this isn't the Shiloh and Bros I fell in love with. Man, I love Eminem.
I prefer Skittles.
No, like the rapper.
Why would you eat the wrapper?
Okay, everyone. This has been a long time coming. I've been wanting to do this for quite a while. We just never sat down and decided to do it. So, some of you may know me online in the fandom as just a mainer creator. I make edits, compilations, other stuff. Sometimes I just rant to the internet and hope somebody will listen. And this is my friend Abby. She's amazing. I'm gonna let her introduce herself.
So, well, as you heard, I'm Abby. I'm also online. My channel's very small, and I rarely post, but I'm the boring side, or aka Abi, ABI, all caps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how we found the fandom. I think we both discovered it around the same time during COVID, obviously, which was their Among Us videos, which is I feel like kind of a cliched way to say we started
we were
the
there from the beginning.
Yeah, we were though. We were. I was there when that was the Among Us craze, and that's when I was playing it with like some friends, obviously during quarantine, and we couldn't really do much other than just interact online, and well, just kind of followed them from there. But you kind of fell off a little bit, right? Isn't that what we were talking about before?
YouTube got banned in my house.
Sad. It's okay.
It was a sad day.
It's okay. And then I want to say sometime last year was it that I got you back into it, or was it?
I think it was was it last year? Yeah, it was last year.
Yeah, I got her back into it, and now she's more obsessed than before. And we could spend hours ranting, which is why we started this podcast. So now instead of ranting just to each other in a room somewhere, now we're ranting for you. Whoever's gonna watch this, who knows? We'll see where this goes.
You get to hear the chaos.
Exactly.
You get to hear our anger.
Okay.
Oh, nothing. I didn't say anything.
Yeah. So I don't know how easy this will be to follow. So we just got two ADHD people locked in a room ranting about our hyperfixation. But that's enough about us. That's enough of an intro. So to start, I thought that we could start with a low-key topic to get going, but I thought the main push to this is some stuff that's going on in the fandom that I think needs to be talked about, so I thought, why not come in swinging? And so, this episode, the main question is, has Shiloh and Bros lost the plot? Which is a big question to ask, honestly. And the main thing is I know I've seen a few other people talk about this. I know Maisie talked about it a little bit before she left the fandom, and we respect her decisions to do so. It was like, what's up with season 2? Season 2 is a little all over the place, right? Like, we were talking about when we watch episodes together, and when we talk about it, it's kind of ping-ponging all over the place. What do you think?
Yeah, especially, I don't know if we're talking about this yet, but
we don't tease too much, but we'll get to it. Yeah.
A few of the episodes, there was like this black void type thing that was watching them, and then it disappeared, and we heard nothing about it again, and it just kind of made me upset.
Yeah. And what episode did we see like the samurai, like guy? I want to say that was Dandy's World, but I don't know if that was on the first episode or not, because Dandy's World was the first episode of season 2. But anyway, I'll be putting up clip whenever we bring something up. Editing me will put up clips so y'all can see what we're talking about. Anyway, so yeah, that had this like mysterious like samurai like character, which I believe was either in the first episode or one of the very early episodes. I'll fact check this afterwards. But we never saw anything from him, her, whatever, ever again since like the very beginning, which has been very interesting. And like you said, with like the mysterious like black thing, I think the last time we saw that light, I think was probably, was it after Secret Theme Park? Like after Phineas left, like her and just Shiloh and Josiah saw it. I think that was the last time. We haven't heard anything since. So they've been a lot of like teasing hints like sporadically and then like not touching on them again until like very later, if at all. And so what I have right here is I have some notes on like kind of comparison to like how the plot goes with season 1 and season 2 to kind of give you all a picture. So like season 1, I think one of the main things was Shiloh collecting those artifacts secretly without her brothers, and then they eventually found out in the maze world. The zombie like saga was pretty consistent throughout the 4 episodes that it was introduced in, and introduced the custodians, which I found that plot very interesting. I love lore. As soon as I found out they were doing lore, I was like, yes, because I appreciate it. And we don't see a lot of like lore, like original like storytelling, like cinematic shows on YouTube, which is like one of the main reasons I fell in love with their show, which is that they were doing something that's not really done much. At least for a while. I feel like it's something that's becoming more popular now, but anyway. And then at the end of Monster Prison Escape, brothers join her on the mission to find their mom and look for artifacts and all that. And then that kind of consistently progresses throughout the rest of the season. Once they hit that point of them helping Shiloh find their mom, then we get the build up to the finale, of course, with everything with Darius. And Darius was like hinted in the If Water Fights Had Zombies. That's where they met him and had him like try to help them. Yeah. I love Darius. Darius is the best. I love him. Also, his actor did a really good job. Especially his monologue in the finale about like how he tried to help their mom with, and then she was locked away because of the monster.
I want to see this monster.
You want to see the monster? There's not enough monsters in this show for you. Anyway.
I was going to pull up a quote, but I can't do it.
We'll save it for later. Yeah. But I really liked the plot of season 1. I think overall, whenever we talk about this, I say season 1's my favorite, like if we're talking overall as a whole. Though that isn't to say season 2 isn't good at all. Like there's definitely some of my favorite episodes. Not just the episodes that have Eminem in it, guys. That is one of the main reasons. But not just because of that. There are some of my favorite episodes that happen to be in season 2. But like if I'm saying overall majority, like which season do I have more favorites from? It would be season 1. And then, so, pretty consistent plot, season 1, I would say, as far as story goes. Though, they have a lot of plot threads going on to keep track of, so I can see how that would be hard. And then, of course, we'll touch on this more in another episode, I'm sure, but I would say Mike and Michelle's plot stays pretty consistent progression throughout the season. Yeah. I'd say that... Save it for another episode. She can talk for hours. I say that like I can't either. Okay, and then moving on to season 2, we see the rift. In episode 1, we see Elijah trying to like scan the rift and stuff with Roscoe, which I don't know who decided putting Elijah and Roscoe in charge. That was a good idea. No shade to either of them. I'm just saying maybe we should have had an extra supervisor on hand. Yep. And then we don't really get any real plot development until episode 4, which is Roblox Murder Mystery in real life, which was them going to this, like, dinner, which I don't remember the guy who like, invited her there. I'll probably put it up on the screen. So then they go there for the auction to acquire the android, this little bug guy, which I think is adorable, and they need to make plushies of it. But that's an aside. To go through the rift, because obviously when Elijah was trying to get the rift open, it wouldn't go any wider, so they needed the little android so they can go through the rift and try to find their mom, which that was very interesting. I really liked that, how they were able to kind of come up with a plot solution for that. And then we don't hear about it until episode 16. That's 12 episodes, I think, until we see the android like properly mentioned which is in FNAF 2. I think they briefly like kind of mention it in like Secret Theme Park, like that's why they need to go there to get the device to talk to the android. But that's really all we get, and we don't really get any plot development with the android until episode 16, which I think is kind of crazy. Like, again, plots shouldn't move too fast, but I feel like season 1 was a lot more. What do you think? Like, it progressed a little bit more steadily?
Yeah, I agree with that. I feel like season 1, the plot, I understood it better, and I understood where they were going with it. But season 2 is kind of like
Harder to follow.
It's like they have this idea, and then you finally follow that idea, and then they change it, and then it's just not as consistent.
Yeah. Which is unfortunate, because we know they're capable of writing good story, because they did it with season 1, and they did it with some of the episodes in season 2 and everything.
It's a really good episode.
It is a really good episode. I want to do a deep dive on, like, some of our favorite episodes, so we'll definitely do one for FNAF 2. But, anyway. And then, of course, in episode 16, which is FNAF 2, we get more lore on the Arcanon and how that powers the agency and stuff. What? And it's now blue. But no, it was always blue.
I thought it was always blue.
It was always blue. They definitely was not tampered with at all, guys.
No, if anyone else from the agency is watching this, nothing happened. It was always blue. You didn't hear anything.
It was always blue. Nobody tampered with it at all.
Is the Arcanon now permanently blue?
It was always blue?
Yeah.
Anyway, but I really liked how Micah revealed that lore, not just because of those reasons. Okay, I can like these characters individually. I promise. I really liked how he revealed, and we got to see like younger Micah, and then we got to see like the younger versions of them in Monopoly. That was really nice. I really like that. Like this is not to say I don't hate season 2. It's just it feels like it's kind of fallen off a little bit in some ways. Then episode 18, Skyblock, we get revealed that Alexander is the new king of Wardonia, which is like, come on, man.
We get Brittany back though.
We do get Brittany back. I love Brittany. She's amazing.
Judah.
Yeah, Brittany and Judah on their on-screen like rivalry is something that we haven't really seen much since their Among Us days. So it was really nice to see them both in that video. And then of course we learned that Darius is alive, which I knew the whole time. By the way, I'm gonna say it. Me too. I knew that he was alive. I always believed it, even if I was gonna be proven wrong. Anyway, and then to touch on a little bit with Mike and Michelle, because I want to save that for like when we do a deep dive episode, so I don't want to like touch too much. But I feel like there wasn't really any development until later episodes, really, and they almost, like, revert back. You know what I mean? Like, season 1 finale was kind of like a breakthrough. Like, Micah kind of overcoming a little bit of his, whatever it's, anxiety or whatever, to, you know, say something instead of just, like, covering for it or not taking Jocelyn's advice until, like, the finale. But then I feel like as soon as we get into season 2, it was, like, very, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Jocelyn's all grown up.
Yeah, we just watched the new Backrooms video before filming this, by the way, so we just are, like, fresh off of seeing Jocelyn all grown up. It's like, anyway. Are you gonna be okay?
No.
Okay, we're gonna move on anyway.
What? Okay.
We only have so much time.
Fair point.
Anyway. Yeah, so they definitely, like I said, they like, revert back, and, like, they even had this, like, during the kind of, like, epilogue, like, bit where Shiloh's narrating this message to their mom at the end of the finale, and she's going through, like, how everybody's doing, like, telling their mom, like, how everybody's doing, and he's like, you know, when Micah finally learned how to show appreciation for the people around him, it shows a scene of them, and I'm just gonna say it looks like they're together the way they framed it, and so I feel like that was kind of misleading. I feel like that was kind of fan service, a little bit, which... We all know they do a ton of fan service. They stalk us. They stalk the Discord. I'm pretty sure I'm convinced they read some of the fan fiction. Judah definitely does. That's a joke, by the way. Anyway, he totally... If any of them would, it would be him. But, yeah, just overall very inconsistent with ship plot lines, story plot lines, character development. Just kind of feels like... Kind of like you said, they just, like, had an idea, threw this in, then forgot about it, and then come back to... And then this next part I'm just going to do really briefly. Like, are they just adapting random games? And this is what I was thinking when they did the Plants vs. Brain Rot, which I feel like they did just because Brain Rot and stuff was very popular back when they did it. And it's like, I miss when they just did videos of games. And this isn't to say they still do games adaptations just because they want to. I feel like they did that a lot more back then. Back with, like, Among Us and, like, all the different Among Us mod videos and things like that. I feel like they just made videos because they came up with an idea and wanted to do that game. I think also with Doors, too. I mean, it was popular when they did it, but I feel like they were doing more stuff, like, just because they wanted to, not because, like, it's whatever's on the algorithm, which is kind of hard. Once you get big, you do kind of have to follow trends a little bit, but you shouldn't, like, let that be what makes your decisions for what you make. I don't know. What do you think about that?
I feel like some of their videos were more like asked, because I've seen some stuff when I was on the Discord. I've seen people asking for certain videos and then they got it afterwards because they would like push for it and
Yeah.
keep going. But I feel like they looked a lot happier and like, not saying this is gonna sound really mean and really wrong, but I feel like their acting was a bit better because they actually wanted to do it more.
No, I agree 100%. And, you know, like I said, this isn't to say their acting is bad.
Yeah.
It's just, there's a different energy, because obviously the whole job of acting is to put on this other role and really kind of take it on. But if you don't necessarily want to do something with your whole heart, then that's going to show up even like a little bit, no matter how good of an actor you are. So I think that's definitely present. And then another thing that I know, and I'm glad you brought up the Discord, because y'all are crazy in the Discord, man.
I've read some of it. It's
It's I feel like people are a little fans, and this is no insult to the fans. I feel like y'all need to chill, and not like make them feel like they have to do a certain video on a certain game. I feel like that could be part of the problem, that the fans won't be happy. This is just speculation, by the way.
This is not like legit. Like, this might not be the thing. This is just our thoughts.
Yeah.
Please don't cancel us.
We'll be fine.
We still love you. We're doing this podcast because we love them.
Okay, I think they get it. Anyway, and then on that, with them doing a lot of like Roblox games lately, I know Roblox is really popular. One thing I'm gonna say this: I don't play Roblox. Neither of us do, right? Yeah, neither of us play Roblox. So
I play this with my sister.
yeah, okay. So don't come on. Like, I don't really. All I know about Roblox really is through either Shiloh and Bros, other creators like Creekcraft, I would say, and Think Noodles, of course. Love those two. Think Noodles needs to be, a scripted character at some point, please. I really hope.
Wasn't he was in one of the videos.
Yeah, but not like an
right?
actual. They didn't interact with him. I want him so bad.
Like, he could be like. I'm thinking they.
Oh no.
There's gotta be.
I started her on a thing, guys. I can't.
Where there's some sort of AI, so he doesn't, like, he still keeps his face hidden behind the cat. But, like, you know how...
Like, almost like a guide like Jarvis or something.
Yes!
Think Noodles as Jarvis, guys. You heard it here first. Anyway, as I was saying, with Roblox, so not all of you watching might know about the recent stuff with Roblox, and a lot of it is very not family-friendly, so I won't talk about it too much on this podcast. There's just been controversies and stuff with Roblox that it's like, a lot of the games are popular and stuff. I just don't know how much we should be doing, or they should be doing, I should say, with games on Roblox, considering how things are until things settle with Roblox. That's just my personal opinion. And, like, I think how they've been doing Roblox adaptations has been good. And I think they're handling it well. Me personally, I don't know if that's the best route to, like, fully lean into Roblox and maybe branch into more original games and stuff. But that's all I'll say for that. That's all I got in me. Oh boy. Okay, now for kind of the big topic that will probably take most of the episode and may make this episode a two-parter depending on how long we talk about it. There's a little bit of indecision in the Shiloh and Bros writing room in regards to ships. A lot of it. I've been yapping a lot. Now we're going to be both yapping. I don't know if you guys can handle it. So, the main problem is that Shiloh and Bros seem to not be able to decide which ships to have / keep in the story / resolve or not. And now, starting off the list with one that was only one episode and was sadly abandoned. You know, I think you know what it is. Elijah and Lila.
No, it's not.
She's gonna be okay, guys. Well, I don't know about that. And look, part of this could be, I don't know, because I know Zoe, who plays Lila, she has her own YouTube channel and stuff that she does. I don't know. I have to admit that I don't really follow her stuff as much, so I have to say that I don't know what her schedule looks like, how that, like, might conflict with, like, not being able to be brought in. Like, I understand that, obviously, I know a lot about, like, filming process, so I understand that it can be, like, very hard to get everybody on the same schedule for a project that, you know, takes, like, multiple days, multiple weeks, actually. But it's, I love them so much, okay? And I know Bluebird's gonna watch this. I know she loves Elijah and Lila so much. We were just talking on our writers' Discord. I'm in a Discord for Shiloh and Bros fanfiction writers, by the way, if any of you want to join, comment, and I might remember to share the link. I'm not making promises.
Me. It's okay, I'll remind her.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say, when I saw a clip when I was scrolling, and I'm like, oh, there's a new video, and then I saw the Pharaoh wings. I'm like, oh, she's back.
Yeah.
And then I saw the actual video, and I'm like, oh, she gone.
No, like, and this is no hate to Ariel or who plays Ariel. I don't remember. I know I should remember this.
We still love you.
Yeah, we still love you. I'm sorry. There's a lot of actors to keep track of. But Ariel, her actress, she did a good job. And this is like with all of these. I need to preface this. Don't come at us saying we hate the actors, okay? We're critiquing the characters and like some of the writing and stuff, but this is nothing towards the actual people who are playing these roles. Please chill. I really liked their dynamic in the Roblox Monster Restaurant in real life. That was one of my favorite episodes, not just because of them. Also, I loved the amount of extras they had. That was like one of their first videos where they had like the bunch of extras at the beginning when they walked into the restaurant with like all like the goblins and the elves and all that. And like the makeup was really cool. I loved it so much. Yeah, the makeup obviously keeps getting better, but to bring it back to the topic, I really liked their kind of like their banter and stuff in the kitchen. It was kind of interesting to see Elijah come back to his chef role, because we already saw that in like their like restaurant tycoon way back, so it was cool to see him in that kind of space again as a chef.
Gordon Ramsay.
Gordon Ramsay. I love it.
Gordon Ramsay mood.
Poor Terrence.
What are you? An idiot sandwich? That's right.
Terrence, what are you?
An idiot sandwich!
That's right.
He endured way too much bullying from Elijah. I feel bad for him. But yeah, they were fun in that episode, and then had that kind of thing at the end. I'll probably play the clip for whoever's watching this afterwards. Anyway, of like where like he might visit her again, which I want to point out. I think I was talking with Bluebird about this, and he said the same thing to Ariel. It's like, oh, like we'll come back and visit. I'm like, well, we'll see how well that turned out last time. I don't know if that'll happen again. Like,
Well, I mean, I talked to Lila.
yeah, we'll get to that. But yeah, I just the whole thing is I would like if say they left it ambiguous at the end of that episode and be like not sure, then it would be easier to be like, oh, he had a crush on her briefly and stuff, and then like moved on to this other person, to another fairy.
Well, now we know he has a type.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, but just like that kind of thing they did at the end showed kind of like that mutual thing, made it very like misleading. Like that's the thing, and we'll talk about this more when we get to like some of the other ships. I feel like that's the thing, like when they can't, either if they can't get an actor, like schedules and stuff, instead of just like calmly like resolving that and then before moving on, they just go straight to move on. Like we didn't get any resolution of like Elijah saying that like he liked Lila for a little bit and then now doesn't. or if they're like just friends, and that none of that. We just got him straight to falling for this other fairy, and like with no segue whatsoever, no mention of Lila since that one episode we saw her in, which was kind of sad. And like so I said, like both times he promises to come back, and so I don't know. Will he really? Fairy, stay away from Elijah. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Yeah, anyway.
So now the next part, now that I know a little bit more, just a little bit of what Mr. Ben Reed said. Shout out to Ben Reed, by the way. His theory videos are I was watching a few of them a few days ago. They're so good, and actually, Ben, if you're watching this, you're one of the main like inspirations to help me start this podcast and start this whole thing. So, shout out to you. You're amazing. Anyway, for Josiah and Gala. Now, I know he hinted a little bit that something behind the scenes might have happened, like with like the actors, and that's completely different. I don't know if like depending on what happened, that means that they couldn't have even written like a resolution scene of like moving on, of like Josiah moving on. I mean, clearly he moved on because he fell for another girl in the battle royale,
Yep.
Which.
But when does he not?
That's true. Also, I do want to say, now that we're talking about that, and like with the "Oh No, I Think I'm in Love" song, I'm starting to wonder if that song's like a curse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like every time a character has had that song happen, it's never worked out.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, and like with Eminem, that song never happened. That's not to say that they won't do it, but I feel like that never happened with Eminem, and that seems to have, well, I mean, have gone pretty well, I would say, all things considered, compared to some of the other ships that got left in the dust. So, like, that was one thing I was thinking of, is, like, that song is kind of, like, and, you know, and not to, like, use this as justification, as we were just kind of bashing it, but, like, both with Elijah and Lila and Elijah and Ariel, that song didn't show up at all, and that was kind of more, like, showed more, like, natural chemistry and stuff, whereas like everything with Josiah is kind of done as a bit, and he's just randomly following for like random people, random girls, and stuff.
My name's Josiah.
What?
My name's Josiah. Member of Costco.
My name's Josiah. Member of Costco.
My name's Josiah! My name's Josiah, member of Costco.
Let's just say the lack of smoothness runs in the family.
Oh boy.
But yeah, so like, yeah, Josiah kept falling for every other girl, which was a bit, until he met Gala, and that seemed to stop for a little bit, for quite a while actually, and he seemed to only be obsessed with Gala, which was kind of interesting. And I feel like that's kind of like a little bit of character development. Obviously, he still fell for this other person, but if we're looking at it from a story and like everything like standpoint, I feel like that's his progression of learning not to just fall for a random person, but or like to get to know them more. Like how you said, like in the, I think it was Prop Hunt, that you said that he's loved getting to know her, and this is like the first time he's actually like taken his time to get to know her more before like mock practicing a confession to a can of peas, which was
Oh wait, no, that was the lamp, right?
no, yeah, it was the lamp that he almost kissed his brother.
I
I have that like screenshot as the thumbnail. It's my first out of context, and I've gotten so many comments of people saying, "Why did you use this?" Look, guys, it's funny. It's out of context. I don't ship the brothers, guys. That's weird. Don't stop leaving comments like that. Okay, guys, stop, please. Anyway,
just holding the bees. Gala enters. Gala, I'm having a very important conversation with Judah. Could you give us a second?
the amount to which we can both quote the show should be concerning, but it helps for the podcast because then we have all these references for all these different plots and the points in the story. So, anyway, that was kind of the only thing I wanted to say about Josiah and Gala, since clearly that's kind of resolved. And like I said, I don't know what happened behind the scenes, so I can't really say anything on that. So it's just another instance of them like introducing something for a little while and then not like resolving it before moving on to the next one. Because this is not to say people don't like fall in love with some people or have a crush on somebody and then fall with somebody else. Like that happens all the time, but it's just we're not seeing that like, oh, like this thing, this kind of, and it could be subtle too. It'd just be like, hey, this character's moving on from this person. That's it.
Yeah.
That's really all we need, in my opinion. Then next, this one, it might get some people angry. She knows what this is. This one's, we might get attacked for this one. I'm just saying. So, this one was actually, I believe, started by Maisie. Even though I'm sad she left the fandom, I respect her decision, but I love her. She's the best. She's one of my favorite people that I've interacted with through the fandom. And she introduced the world to PB&J. Not the condiment guys, but the ship. You guys know what we're talking about.
PJ.
Yeah. Which, look, I know we're gonna do a deeper dive on ships, and I've had this thing brewing in my mind for a while that I like for us to talk about it, and I'll probably touch on it more when we do the deep dive. This is kind of more focused on season 2 and kind of the struggles with the plot. And like, I love the idea of Judah and Micah being the greatest crewmates, and then Michelle and Patience being best friends, and then them becoming like a friend group. Look, not necessarily that, and like I do miss seeing Patience in videos, and this doesn't have to be a ship, guys, but they would be a chaotic friend group, the 4 of them. I would love to see it. And like I said, I would even be fine if Judah and Patience didn't become a ship, but we got them as a friend group. I would love that so much. They would complement each other very well. Because we've already seen in like the theme park like Tycoon that Patience is very chaotic and very kind of crazy, which, you know, she has to be if she's friends with Michelle, to be honest. And I think seeing the 4 of them bounce off each other would be interesting. And like, again, from a shipping dynamic, I feel like it would be really interesting to see. Obviously, we didn't see it, and I respect their decision to do it. And I feel like it was a little aggressive how they did it. And like, but I gotta say, when Micah and Michelle did the Peak stream, like the live stream when they were playing the game Peak on the gaming channel, and Micah let me finish. Micah read the, we all know it was Judah's idea to have them stream that together. Anyway, that's an aside. But when Micah read the question from the chat saying, do you ship PB&J? And Michelle was like, is that Patience and Judah? And she found that hilarious. And Micah's like, hardcore no from me. No, not at all. Which I think is hilarious. Because Judah's all over, like, shipping everybody. And Micah's like, no. And then Michelle was like, wait, you don't? And he's like, do you? He's like, why don't you? So I feel like Michelle did a little bit, which I think would be hilarious in canon. Obviously that didn't happen, and that's fine. I just think speculation-wise, that would have been very interesting to see. Which, like I said, didn't happen, which is fine. I just, like, the way they shut it down in the bloopers vid was kind of aggressive. Not gonna lie, I feel like that was a little uncalled for. That death stare, like, have all, like, 5 of them, like, staring me down, like, okay, guys.
I'm sorry.
Like,
What did I do?
basically. And it's, like, fans are gonna ship, guys. I mean, it's, like, that's the whole thing, but the whole thing of, I was just watching another podcast about this, too, is we ship, and it's hard to do with, because they're technically playing themselves. We ship the scripted versions, guys. I've seen so many comments about, like, wanting Mike and Michelle to date in real life. I'm like, guys, chill. Can we let them be friends in real life, please? And just ship them on screen. Is that possible? Can we do that? Like, can we do that? Don't look at me like that. I was watching something from Ben when he was doing an interview, or, like, kind of questions with Crystal, the mod Crystal. Shout out Crystal. She's amazing. About, like, people were threatening Michelle's boyfriend for, like, which is, like, guys, chill, okay? It's a show, guys, we can calm down. So, I feel like that's the weird thing with, like, policing ships, is, like, if they're shipping the scripted characters and they're doing it respectfully, I think that's okay, but it comes to the point where, like, when you cross the line to the real person, it's gets a little on the fence there, whether that's okay, depending on how far the person goes, of course. I mean, shipping Ariel is not... Why are you staring at me like that? I'm feeling uneasy about this.
I have a massive, chaotic, across fandoms friend group that would... I think the world would end if they all met.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Yeah, you keep those thoughts to yourself. I'll keep us on track. I'm trying to keep us on track as much as I can. So like back to Judah and Patience. That was like a very nice. That was like kind of like a nice possibility. And those who see my edits might notice I put some clips of them just because like. What's a girl gonna do? Okay, you give me a ship, you expect me not to get attached to it, except for some ships. But anyway, that'll be touched on later.
Into that later.
Save the violent tendencies for after the podcast. Add that to the context. But I feel like a lot of the Patience and Judah shippers were fairly respectful, even afterwards. Which is nice to see. But that was just... I really liked her dynamic on screen with him, and like they were both kind of chaotic. But I feel like she also has that kind of like calmer... not necessarily calmer, but more like just kind of like chill side of her that's able to like no nonsense kind of cut things through. And I think if I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember exactly what Maisie said, but she was like, I think it would be interesting since Judah's always the comic relief character and he's always making jokes even when he should definitely not be making jokes, to like have someone like her who's very cut to the point be like just like, bro, like, why are you doing this? Like, why are you always making jokes? And then he could open up to, which I was talking with my friends on the writers Discord. We like to talk about the characters' trauma. Those in the Discord, if you're watching this, we like to talk about the trauma. Okay, you don't need to hide it. We were talking about like Judah's trauma one day because that's what you do. Kind of like in the zombies video, the Nerf cave zombies, he was talking about the hieroglyphs and calling them emojis, and there's you're gonna bring her.
I was gonna bring the emojis up.
I'll probably put like the screenshot, but like she like gives him like a side eye, like, bro, what are you on?
Ancient emojis.
Yeah. To hear eating sounds. Oh no.
Emoji history. One of the finest arts.
This brings me back because for those of you who don't know, I filmed another short podcast with some friends that never saw the light of day, but one of my co-hosts, she was eating carrots the whole time, and so like through the audio there's just this carrot ASMR. So I apologize for the eating sounds in advance. I haven't eaten today because that was uncalled for.
It was very called for. We were talking about eating sounds, so I had to put some in the background, you know?
Anyway, and like that kind of look that Patience gave him kind of was like, I feel like she could have, not could, because obviously they set that aside, so I'm respecting that they did it. We're going purely in like speculation, for speculation's sake, right at the moment. Like that could have been a nice thing to have for him to like, just like somebody who could be like, just like, hey, like, why are you doing this? Because I feel like that's his like kind of like trauma response to it, for like, obviously, because like, bro, like they lost their mom, they're all gonna have some sort of coping mechanism, and I feel like humor is his coping mechanism to like keep everybody like happy and upbeat and like, you know, make sure everybody's still laughing and like that and all that. And so I feel like somebody coming into like being like, you don't, because I feel like his siblings will have like learned to be like not press him on it because they know what that's covering up, so they won't like bother him about it. But somebody like something like external, like Patience, could be somebody to like actually the first person to like say like why are you doing this, and that could have blossomed into something amazing, but but that didn't happen anyway. And then of course with Judah and Mia, I know if Bluebird's watching this, she's a huge MJ shipper. All the power to her for that. And also, I was in the Discord the other day, and Cadence and Judah were online, and Cadence and Crystal were bullying Judah, and I thought that was hilarious. Anyway, that's not really important. I feel like the insertion of that was kind of random. Like, you know, with 99 Nights 3, we have both Elijah and Ariel, and then we have Judah and Mia, which, if they decide to properly develop Judah and Mia, great. Like, I'll be here for that. If they decide to, like, properly expand on that and let Judah grow by having somebody else in his life like that, then that'll be cool. That'd be cool to see for him. I love comic relief characters, but they're always the ones with the most trauma, and I feel like they never get enough, like, they don't always get enough development in my experience with stuff, so.
Be really good.
I'm gonna let you talk for a minute so I can You go.
Can I talk about anything? Or just about Mia and Judah, because I have an idea.
I would like for you to stay on topic.
I would say on topic. Basically, if Elijah actually goes and, like, visits Ariel for real, he brings Judah with him as backup, and then Mia sees him and follows him back to the agency, and she's just kind of like a stowaway.
A stowaway cultist?
Like me. Sorry. Anyway,
I didn't kidnap her, guys. She's here at her own free will.
who said that? Anyways, I really liked how they, like, kind of did the opposite. Instead of the guy falling in love, Mia fell in love, and it was during one of the, like, least fall in love moments when he was screaming. He was yelling, he's like,
I mean, her perception has to be skewed because she's in a cult.
wow.
To be fair. Like, I think that was also, me and Blue were talking about, like, girls gotta have trauma.
Yeah. I was laughing so hard, though, when they were tied to, like, the tree, and he goes, hey, I can talk to a girl. And he goes, hey, what's up? I watched that one with my sister, and we were both dying.
I low-key was, too, when I was watching it with my parents.
Someone has to distract her. Hey. What's your name?
I'm Mia.
Cool. Oh my goodness, that was way too much talking.
Well, I watched it before and then shared it with my parents because I keep them up to date on stuff. I watch it with my parents all the time. What?
What?
Say what?
What? Say what?
Who what now?
I don't know.
Anyway, so
It's looking really nice.
so we kind of thank you. So those are kind of that was kind of, well, I don't want to say brief rundown, but the kind of rundown of all those kind of sort of ships that we've experienced. Well, except for one, which is the next section. Of like kind of like giving you guys examples of like different plots of probably just decided like not to resolve things, and like we already touched. We don't really need to get into Eminem because they seem to be pretty solid in the story. Well, if they aren't, then they know they know that their fans are gonna riot, so they can't really do anything else.
We're cousins that are dating. No, we are not going to elaborate any further.
I love that video so much. It's amazing.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. But if you're here, you probably know because your only true fans are here. That's not to say if you're watching it, you're not a true fan.
Yeah.
Anyway,
If not,
okay.
go watch it. Go
Yeah.
watch Shiloh and Bros and you'll find it. Watch
Yeah.
all of it. Multiple
Okay.
times.
Okay, we're back, guys. You probably won't even notice we were gone, but we took a little break because we had to prepare for this next section, and I apologize in advance if we get a little too passionate. I'm gonna try to keep us as cool-headed as we can be, but I make no promises.
Professional.
We're very professional here. So if you have not been living in a rock, you may notice there is a new character that has been introduced. Not this past episode that was released today, but the episode before, in If Nerf Fights, had Battle Royale, or had, that's
Ariel, yeah.
yeah, okay, I got it right. I know my facts. This new guy, I'll put it up on... This new character, Liam, who... Where to start, man?
Where to start? Should we start from like the beginning, like in the bus where he's like, oh my god, she's here, and then after that where he just walks up, he comes behind her and whispers in her ear, very.
Okay. Anyway, so to tackle this situation as a whole, some of you might already know my opinions. I did post a little short on it on my edits channel, so you already know how I feel about this, but I thought we would go into this a little more in depth, and I would hopefully make my opinions more clear, because I see a lot of fans saying, Liam is better, Phineas is better, they don't like either of them, so I thought it would be good for me to put it all out on the table so you guys can make, I don't want to say more informed decision, because that makes me sound like I have an ego, but like put everything into perspective, maybe, so.
Personally, I'm a Team Phineas fan all the way.
Me too.
I'm sorry to all the Team Liam people.
Why are you apologizing?
Hey, people are free to have their own opinions.
Sorry, I need to calm down.
Hey, hold on. Did we reverse roles?
We did reverse roles. Sorry, I'm fired up because I'm also know that after I watched the episode that I was gonna rant with Bluebird about it, and I didn't get to do that yet. So some of that energy might get let out on camera for you guys. So yeah. Anyway. So, what I want to do is I want to do a little bit of a comparison for those two in terms of scenes, how they were introduced and how they interacted with Shiloh. Just so we could put things into perspective, okay? So, Phineas was introduced in episode 7 of season 2, which is Secret Theme Park, and he was there to help them on the mission to retrieve the energy device which they needed to communicate with the android that's searching for their mom. And so, he's there, brothers are immediately suspicious, as you all know, of course, but... Who's Broski? Yeah, but important to note that, and I'll touch on this later because I had a very interesting thought that I came up with when I was talking with some friends on the Discord, is that she called him in, which I think is interesting, and I'll get back to that. And then Liam was introduced in episode 20 of season 2, which is crazy, they're already at 20 episodes, or technically 21 since Backrooms, which is If Nerf Fights had Battle Royales, as somebody who brought her or tricked her or summoned her or got her to this tournament, which I feel like is a very backhanded under the table kind of way to get her to meet up with her, which is immediately suspicious. And I know I'm biased here, but this is why I wanted to have these back-to-back comparisons, so hopefully you guys can, even if you don't agree, you can at least see where I'm coming from, where both of us are coming from, to so it's not just we hate Liam, you understand what we're doing. Anyway, moving on. So that's the kind of the thing. Phineas was there to help them. Shiloh called him in for help to get this device. Liam brought her into this tournament, just to meet up with her, basically. Pretty much is what that boiled down to, which is kind of sus. And I do want to bring this up before we get into the next part, is I found out because of, in the membership hangout on the Discord, Bria Ventaria, shout out, Brie, love you. So many amazing people in the fandom getting shout outs today, it's cool. She said I believe, I'll put the Discord message, probably screenshot up on the screen at some point, but her cousin auditioned for the role of Liam. He didn't get it, so that's not her cousin that's playing Liam. But when he was auditioning, they were asking for, an actor who could portray, look between the ages of 19 and 25.
Keep in mind, Shiloh is now 17.
Yeah, Shiloh's 17, y'all. So I don't know if any of you can put the math together and see the problem here.
You see, when she gets to 18, she'll be an adult and stuff, and so it won't be as weird.
Yeah.
But now that she's still 17, if they had introduced Liam next year when she was 18, I would have been yeah, okay.
I see where this could be coming from. Yeah. If they didn't show Phineas again from then, and then did it when she was older. Yeah. I would have a completely different reaction. Completely. And this isn't the case of, this was a younger role, but they happened to get an older person who could present as younger to play it. Like, that's not the case. They were so deliberately looking for somebody who could be in an age range that is above Shiloh in a role that they knew, because, they wrote the script, was going to be, like, hitting on her, basically. Pretty much, right? That's basically what happened. So, that's something important to keep in mind for the whole of this. And that's, like, I was talking with, I think it was mostly Bluebird. I've been bringing her up so much. She's fun. She's so fun to talk with on the Discord. It was kind of interesting how when it was, like, at the end, Elijah wasn't as crazy freaking out when he was talking to Shiloh. When they were, like, kind of, like, all cornered in that, like, final 3 of the video. It, like, as soon as Phineas was there, they were all, like, up in arms. And, like, when he, like, complimented her, which was, I think...
I'm gonna
just
pull
do
a Judah quote.
Yeah, do that in your head. And this was my next bullet point of, like, when Phineas showed interest, he didn't really show any, like, obvious interest in, like, yes, did he bring it up when they were alone in the workshop, even though they didn't know her brothers were watching on the camera. But I feel like he did it very... like, subtly, and, like, kind of like Michelle said, he did it pretty diplomatically, like, saying, you really are a genius, and, like, kind of just kind of let it slide, and didn't, like, push, and they were, like, they weren't, like, that far apart, but they were on complete opposite ends of the workshop.
Personal space.
Personal space. And they were, like...
are important, people.
Exactly. And also, like, they were both still focused on the mission. Like, he wasn't, like, distracting from the mission. He was still helping her get stuff done while sliding that in there, which I appreciate. And then when she pressed, he didn't lead with, I came here because I knew you would be here, like Liam did. Like, he immediately leads with, I came here specifically for you. Like, whoa, that's creepy. That's, like, okay. Back that up. Phineas immediately led with, like, the easy diplomatic answer of, like, the MOM agency is a good ally to have, which is true. He wasn't lying there. They are a very powerful ally to have, and I believe he said it's worth seeing this mission is done right, which is true. He wasn't lying there. And then when she, like, seemed to tell that wasn't the full answer, he just said, and I knew you would be here, and then just kind of settle it, and they go back to working on the mission. And that's it. But Liam is very different. He's got such an ego. I don't mean to, like, well, not project, but, like, assume, but, like, bro's got such an ego, just the way he talks. Not even just about her, but just in general, his whole... Also, the fact that he needs to show off his arms 24/7.
I agree with a lot. Put some sleeves on.
Put some sleeves on, man. Anyway... so just definitely they both have very different approaches to how they interact with her and, like, convey their interests in her, and just the way Liam goes about it is very concerning. Look, I'm just gonna say it. I like Phineas is very respectful, kind of reserved, which I also think is probably due to his upbringing, because we know he's the son of a Raylo Lord, and so he's like...
His dad.
What?
I really wanted to, like, meet his dad.
Yeah, me too. I feel like I'm so scared that his dad's gonna be a bad guy. I'm, like, so scared. If any of you Shiloh and Bros watching this, don't make that happen, please. Anyway, yeah, so he's probably, like, had that, like, kind of privileged upbringing, but also, like, we were saying, because we watched the Backrooms video together, like I said, right before this, and so Phineas has, like, a moral standard and etiquette of how to approach other people, not necessarily just other women, but, like, somebody who's in a position of power, like she is, like, she's the director of the agency, and he did it very diplomatically, he did it very respectfully, and didn't push her and corner her and not take no for an answer, or not take I'm not sure for an answer, like a certain somebody. And even in the Duolingo chess video, that was one of my favorite videos. I love Daniel.
We need Daniel to come back and beat up Liam. I'm sorry. No, hold on. You might need to edit that part out. I'm sorry.
I didn't say it, guys.
That was really.
That was all her.
That was really uncalled for. I'm sorry. It's just, I don't really like his character, man. And we don't get that much of Daniel. We don't see David anymore either. We used to get like a glimpse of him and like.
Yeah, I think that's because
video
they're
once in a
both
while.
Daniel and David are doing like behind the scenes stuff. Which
Still.
yeah, I know. It's sad, but it's okay. Anyway, bringing us back.
Yep.
Like Phineas took all of the threats and everything. He took it on the chin. He took it very well, and like with the spray bottle, he just kind of dealt with it and moved on. Whereas like the little squirt gun that Elijah pulled on Liam immediately just like grabbed it and threw it away, like very just dismissive. Like it's like, yeah, and he just has that whole like personality of like, yeah, I know what I want, and you're not gonna stop me from getting it. Like, which is like, whoa, chill. Buddy. Like, okay, we know who's the main character of his own story. Liam.
Main character energy.
Very like main character to himself energy. Not to anybody else, just himself. But and just kind of there's so many parallels, and I'll probably do like a compilation video showing back to back, whether I insert that somewhere in this video or I release it separately, just for you guys to see, not just from my own retelling, but from the actual videos of like what happens. Because I feel like this is a serious thing that we need to discuss, and I don't see a lot of people discussing it because a lot of the fans are like in the Discord and stuff. Like, no offense to any of them, but I feel like there's a majority of like a younger fan base, you know what I mean? And a lot of them aren't, I don't want to sound like I'm talking down to anybody watching this, so like anybody, if you're like a younger fan watching this, I'm not trying to talk down to you because I'm making it sound like I'm old and I'm not. I'm like Shiloh's age basically. But like, I feel like you're not realizing when they're saying like, oh, Liam's better, like, or like there's so much more there, or they're making edits and like giving reasons. Like, I feel like you're not putting into account all these factors and not thinking things through. And the whole thing of the brothers being super with Phineas, like, well, if you guys didn't like want, and Judah when in the gaming videos says they don't want Phineas, he doesn't want Phineas. Well, if you don't want Phineas, then why'd you replace him with Liam? I'm not saying Liam's a replacement. I'm not saying Phineas won't come back, but like,
We need both of them together. We need them to fight.
Not Liam. Phineas is. I don't think Phineas would fight him.
He verbally.
He would dismantle him in the most diplomatic way possible.
Yes,
he would. He would say it so respectfully.
He would try to insult him, but he'd like throw compliments at him. He'd go like, "And your arms are so strong," trying to be so mean. Phineas is just so sweet, and Liam would just be like, Liam would learn about the nicknames. And he started calling him Ugga Boy. Hey, Ugga Boy.
He so would. But anyway, it's like, I don't know why they decided to include that in the story. You know what I mean? Like, if you guys didn't want us shipping Shiloh and Phineas, why did you include this creep? Like, why is this the only alternative we have? You know, like, you don't, like, and I don't know how old Ben Jeffers, who plays Phineas, I don't know how old he is, and I'm not going to speculate on his age, but I feel like him and Shiloh look, at least their characters, how they look relatively similar age. But Liam, he looks like he's on the older end of that 19 to 25 spectrum is all I gotta say. Like what are we doing? Like, he's like the complete opposite to Phineas in so many ways, and I'm like, why is this what we're doing? I don't know. You talk more. I feel like you've got more to say.
Well, if I were to, I'll try to keep it as nice as I can, but if I were to go on a phone rant, some not nice things would be said. Basically, short answer from me, I like Phineas better. If I'm going long answer, it's Well, I agree. He was like very diplomatic with anything. He never even tried to insult anyone or be mean or be any way creepy or what's this word? I don't remember the word. Forgetting words now.
It is kind of insane how he hasn't snapped at the brothers after like all like the abuse, basically.
And Liam's got like basically none of it, just Elijah and stuff. And well, Elijah's pretty bad, but like wait till he meets Judah.
Well, they kind of did at this show that, excuse me, at the end of the episode, which I forgot to say there are massive spoilers for the Backrooms video if you all haven't seen it, but by the time this episode comes out, that'll have been out for a while, so you guys will be fine. Like at the end when they were doing like the dance party that they do, that Micah, Judah, and Josiah all see him. So I really hope they gang up on him. And this is bringing back to stuff that I talked on the Discord, is one reason Bluebird was saying that like they might not be as, and this was before Backrooms came out, so I don't know how much water this theory holds still, though I guess it still could. It's like maybe the reason her brothers weren't as defensive is because they knew Liam didn't have as much of a chance. Like, I unfortunately, and this is getting into some more mature topics, which, I mean, Shiloh and Bros brought this on themselves by bringing in a guy who's like in his like mid-20s who's hitting on Shiloh who's 17, so that's kind of their fault. So they're all my problems. It's not my fault. Of like, I can't imagine this is the first time something like this has happened. You know, like think about it. Like, she's in a very high position. The agency is very well known. I mean, imagine like their mom ran it before, so she obviously did a lot of missions and stuff and networking, and probably has contacts and allies and enemies and just people who know the agency like all across the Rayloverse, right? Like, so I can't imagine this would be the first time somebody has like tried to like be kind of like Liam, and I'm being very careful with how I say this because YouTube's very finicky. And obviously there's a lot of young fans that might be watching this. Yep. But like the whole thing of the uncomfortable part has to be said out loud, because if we don't see problems with Liam, then they're going to continue writing this, and I don't want this to be where this goes. And even if it does, it needs to be done respectfully. Like I said, if Shiloh was 18, I wouldn't really see that much of a problem with it, other than being sad that Phineas is getting kicked to the curb. Shiloh gave him the number that happened to be the hotline that Judah was, like the Shiloh hotline, which means that they had to have had enough of this happen, or even like one thing where she would need a hotline for creepy, for lack of better words, a creepy guy like Liam, an older guy, to do that so her brothers could deal with it, you know? So like, and then that brings us back to the comparison of Shiloh felt comfortable calling in Phineas for help, both in Secret Theme Park and in chess. When he was there, like, Daniel was like, why is he here? And Shiloh was like, I called, or like, didn't say, like, he came when he heard about Judah being taken, and then Daniel was like, you called him in? As in, you two can talk to each other? So Shiloh feels comfortable talking to Phineas without her brothers being in that. She feels comfortable enough to talk with him and invite him onto missions, whereas Shiloh immediately gave, and this is speculation, I don't know if this is just, it is like just a regular contact number and not specifically like a hotline like Judah said, but like that was Shiloh's kind of being like, yeah, don't contact me, I don't like you, like you're kind of creepy, and like she didn't feel comfortable talking to him directly, and so gave him the card with the hotline so her brothers could take care of that.
You could also tell in the Backrooms video she was really, really uncomfortable when he was talking to her a lot of the time, or at least like during the beginning.
Oh yeah.
When she was like, get away from me, I gotta go.
And even, like, at the end where they, like, need to find why they're lost to, like, get out of the back rooms, her saying that, like, he can join the agency and all that, which is, like, oh, sorry.
It's like saying Talia can join the agency.
Honestly, that would be better. I'd rather Talia than Leo. Is that crazy?
I mistake Talia's actor.
Actress. Yeah. That's insane. I would rather have Talia join the agency. What is this? What Twilight Zone is this? Anyway, like, when she was saying that, it felt very forced. Now, some people could argue, you know, it was rushed because of adrenaline, because a monster was running toward them, and she needed to be able to see the exit. That's also makes sense. But it felt forced, and the rest of them were like, I'm just going to say this so I can get out of here and not be able to see him. Like, it just felt very...
out of character.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like... And this is not to, like, hate on Shiloh's character, and it's just like... And the whole kind of main issue of everything we've discussed so far is, like, what are we doing, man? Like, what is this? Like, this isn't the Shiloh and Bros I fell in love with. This isn't the show that I... And this is not to say that I'm going to stop watching the show, or I'm going to stop making edits and all that kind of stuff. I'm still going to do it. I'm going to hold out hope that things will change or make more sense in the future, but I feel like there needs to be more people that are willing to, like, say the uncomfortable and quiet parts instead of just, like, idolizing them and being like, whatever they say goes, kind of, like, you know what I mean? But, like, in a respectful way, because there's also the flip side of people being like, oh, I hate you, you did this thing, like, whatever.
Writing hate comments, that's never good. If you write a hate comment, I will find you, and I will personally show you, I will pull a Judah, and I'll show you what I can do with a bat, dice, and a pair of frog legs.
She's joking, guys, I promise. She's joking, I promise, guys. Don't call the cops on us. It's fine.
Okay, I'm ready
Anyway.
to stalking.
Anyway, that's like that, and I've been growing on the whole thing with Phineas and Liam and then Shiloh for a while. I said this in the short that I did in case you didn't see it, or you did, I'm going to reiterate. When I first watched the video with him the first time, because I watched it ahead of time, because I do have the membership, I felt uncomfortable every time he was on screen, and then I had to, well, I didn't have to, but I wanted to watch it again to share it with my parents, even though I was very uncomfortable, and I said I didn't like it, and my mom was like, you don't have to watch it again with us. I'm like, no, I needed them to see what was going on and to understand. In the lead up to us watching the video and after, I felt sick. Like, my, like actual symptoms. Like, I felt sick to my stomach. I felt nauseous. Like, I literally felt disgusting watching him.
My stomach is just talking about it.
See? And that's the thing that Shiloh and Bros need to see, and I hope that either they see it or somebody who can tell them sees this is like, this is not what we need. Okay? Like, this is not what we want to be happening for fans. And I think this is, like, more evidence of, like, reasons why, like, Maisie and her sister left the fandom. Like, things are changing, and they're changing, and I feel like they're losing part of what made this. Not to get, like, super depressing, but, like, I feel like we're losing track of...
They're losing... This could sound kind of cringy, but they're losing themselves.
They are!
They're losing, like, a part, like... Because first it was the membership, and I understand it's for them to make bigger videos, more, like, higher quality videos, but still, that's not, like, the Shiloh and Bros I grew up watching and stuff. They worked with what they got, and still loved it.
Yeah. And, like, I think the VFX stuff was too, and I've got, like, mixed thoughts on the membership. Obviously, I am able to have it, and I'm willing to be able to support them in that way, and, of course, like, whenever I have Abby over, I'll show her some of the membership videos that she can't see, and, like, that's cool. But I feel like there's been unintentional, like, divide of people who are in the membership, people who don't, and people who are in the membership are, like, iffy down, and people who don't. You know what I mean? So before we get to, because I do have kind of a more funny thing that I want to include towards the end to kind of lighten up from all the depressing talk we've been doing about the show is like kind of confirm where I stand on with Phineas, and you can tell me if you agree with my perspective on it or not. And we kind of touched this on Judah, is that they all have trauma. They all have their own coping mechanisms and stuff that they've had to do, after their mom disappeared. But I feel like Shiloh more than most, because she's the one who's having to carry all of this agency and kind of legacy on her shoulders. Not necessarily kind of like almost like an heir of this, even though she wasn't like that's royalty necessarily, but still, like we talked earlier, like her mom built this agency.
She's a queen.
She is a queen. She's amazing.
Skipping queen. Yes.
Okay. I had a point, and you're gonna make me lose it.
Okay.
I love how supportive he is, especially in the Duolingo chess video, and not in a Liam way of like, you need my help, you know I'm valuable. Look at me, I'm awesome, I can do all this stuff. Look at me. Yeah. He's like, like, that was a good move, like, when you do, like, I know you're, like, feeling, like, overwhelmed or something, but, like, I'm here if you need anything. And he was also very diplomatic with shutting down Daniel when Daniel was whacking him with the bishops. I gotta say, he takes their abuse very well. He's taken it like a champ, and I admire him for that. Could not be me. I don't have that kind of patience.
I like how at the beginning of the video, he was like, I think I might be safe. Like, are we sure I'm going to be safe here or whatever? And, like, the queen is, like, the safest piece on the board. He's like, talking about him.
With Daniel.
And then he's like...
Yeah.
I think it would have been safer if I was literally any other position.
The queen is just as safe as any other role.
I'm talking about him.
I am going to hang you by your toenails and slowly pluck out your eyelashes.
Yeah, there may have been safer roles for you.
There were definitely safer places than next to Daniel. Though, to be fair, she had, like, almost all her brothers on the board, so I don't really know where he would have been safe. To be honest. But I just feel like she needs somebody who's, like, that kind of supportive of, like, he'll let her lead and do her role and help, but also, like, let her still be, like, her age, not to, like, say that she's, like, really young or anything, but, like, well, I mean, yeah, she kind of is. She had to grow up really fast, too, because, like, even though I think, according to some stuff that I think Ben said in his theory of, like, who will be the next leader of the MOM, I feel like Daniel and Elijah had their own kind of short leadership moments when Shiloh was, like, a lot younger, and then, of course, Shiloh is now the leader, or, like, director or whatever. So she's kind of all her siblings have had to grow up really fast, and so it's like, I think she needs somebody who's going to be on the more supportive side and more kind of, like, can match whatever energy she needs and not, like, I don't want to say, like, somebody who's not a creep.
Yeah.
Okay? Like, I'm trying to, and just, like, somebody who can just be like, I'm here if you need me, and, like, all that kind of stuff, and just, like, and build her up, and compliment her in a non-creepy way. And also somebody who respects her personal space. Side-eyeing Liam so hard right now. Anyway, what do you think?
So, first off, we're sorry to his actor for calling him a creep. We know you're trying your best with your script and all that
Exactly.
fun stuff. But still, we love you, just don't really like your character. I really agree with the whole, they've all been through something. I feel like that's also what made them so close and what made her brother so protective, is so that she doesn't get hurt again.
Yeah, that too. And I think he could also kind of understand her position a little bit because, like we said, he's like, his dad's a Raylo Lord, so he probably very early also had to grow up pretty quickly too, to, like, that expectation of being an heir of sorts.
Yeah, so they kind of, like, I think they relate to each other more than Liam, unless they somehow uncover some gigantic mystery about him being like, oh, but he was born here, and then he ran away, or he was
He's a
family was murdered.
That's how they make us like him. He has a tragic backstory, so we have to forgive him.
We love the tragic backstories. That wait, hold on that. Trying to find a better way to put that.
We love tragic backstories, guys.
It sounds like we're like, oh, we want people to have traumatic experiences.
That's what makes the show interesting, girl.
Fair point.
But yeah.
We love trauma. Wait, no. I'm gonna...
Editing me, cut that out of the video.
I'm gonna be quiet now.
But yeah, so you agree with my...
Yes.
Yeah. No, I think we're very on the same page with that. And, like, we'll go into more of this. A lot of this is just kind of an overview of the overall situation. I've got plenty of ideas for future episodes, for deep dives on episodes, characters, all that stuff. So if you ever feel like a part of this video is lacking or you want a deeper dive, please let us know, because I have ideas, but this is also for you guys, so we've got to know what you guys want to see as well. So we started to lighten the mood there, and I want to continue with... There is something that has happened that maybe makes me tolerate Liam a little more, and that is a concoction, a creation that was, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
that was dreamed up by the one and only Shiloh and Bros fanfic writers Discord. Mostly, I gotta give...
yours truly.
No.
Yours truly.
No, it was mostly Bluebird. I joined her cult when she created... Anyway, we were talking about something, because when we write fanfiction on there, we share it with each other and we discuss it, and she was like, Liam, get out of there. Liam, get a life. I'm sure Talia would have you. And they're like, wait. And she was like, wait, did I cook? So, there's a new crack ship in the fandom, guys. It's Liam and Talia. And I want to know what you think of that.
Because, I mean, they both want a Nelson sibling, but they have a better person to get shipped with. Like, you know, Eminem, Shiloh and Phineas. Does Shiloh and Phineas have a ship name?
I think it's Philo.
Philo.
I think. Yeah. Pretty sure. Anyway, and so this happened, like, earlier this week, I'm pretty sure. It's only been a few days. A lot of the times we're chatting up late because of time zone difference. So, like, from the time between, like, 11 to, like, 2:30, we were, like, dreaming up this crack ship. It was insane, guys. And then I shared, if you're in the Discord, you'll know I shared an edit I made out of the two of them. And the GOAT, Cadence, who plays Mia, liked it. I was like, what is this? And then I was like, Cadence, you better make this canon. And then we've now infected the fandom with this whole phenomenon that is crack shipping. And so now somebody was shipping Ashley, which is Liam's sister, who, another thing to point out is that of like how Liam's a lot older than Shiloh, is that Ashley's his younger sister and she looks older than Shiloh. So
and
like
also it was like a really big dynamic, and people thought that him and his sister were dating.
Yeah.
It got to the point like they were acting so interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. People were making Ashley and Phineas edits, which was like, I was like, and then I sent that to the Discord. I was like, no, we created a monster.
This is what happens when you share anything on Discord and
Yeah.
Shiloh and Bros.
It's all Bluebird's fault. She's the one who mainly pioneered this ship, so it's all her fault, actually. Even though I'm the one who made the edit and shared it, it's her fault.
Bluebird is an evil genius. I'm not saying that you're evil, but I'm saying that you're a genius.
No, she's self-proclaimed herself a cult leader, so she knows.
Love you, Bluebird.
Yes.
I've never actually talked to you.
Yeah.
I've heard things.
Yeah.
Great.
Don't make it sound like I'm talking bad about her behind her back. That's not what this is. Only good things. Always.
All good things. Hey, we were just talking about you. All good things. All good things.
Yeah, exactly. And then Josiah liked the Ashley and Phineas edit, and so like when that was happening, I was like, bro, what is going on? What did we do?
What have we created?
Exactly. It's like, guys, this just started as a thing, and then when, I don't know, because I've written something for them, not that Talia and Liam, just to clarify. And then Bluebird was also writing the Discord. She's like, guys, they're way more fun to write than I thought. She's like actually attached to them, and I think that's hilarious. And we're like, well, it made us tolerate Liam a little bit more, so I guess that's a good thing. So it's like, and another time traveler, she was like, wait, isn't that kind of, won't that be kind of interesting? I'm like, well, it gets Talia away from Eminem and it gets Liam away from Phineas and Shiloh, so it's a win-win situation, guys. Like, best of both worlds, guys. Come on, how could you not love that? Anyway, I should not be, me and my friends should not be allowed to do anything past the wee hours of the night in the morning. But we can't, really, because, like, time zones. That's the only time we're able to talk, and when we're all sleep deprived, and then we create things. Abomination, I don't know.
Abominations.
It's just, I've watched this spiral over the past few days, and it's just been very, like, yeah, so my friends and I, we should not be allowed to talk, like, until, like, past midnight. Like, I'm dead serious. We were up until, like, 2:30 a.m. talking about this, and be like, what are we talking about, man? I won't give too much away, but I'll be putting up some, throughout this, I'll be putting up some screenshots of the conversation.
Oh,
Like, what is this? So we start, this was our we discovered this is our coping mechanism to deal with Liam and Shiloh. We're shipping him with Talia. Because we're like, we all don't like them for interfering with other ships, so we're going to ship them together, put that in the server, and then now people are crack shipping all over. Oh, and then today, Bluebird said somebody's now shipping Phineas and Liam. Like, what? I don't know if any of the knows of anyone who's liked that, and if they had, I wouldn't be surprised. At this point, nothing's going to surprise me anymore. I didn't have Josiah liking a Phineas and Ashley edit on my bingo card for 2026, but here we are, so I guess anything can happen at this point.
I had something I was gonna say. We were talking about this earlier, like about all the crack ships, and I was gonna say something and I forgot. Dang it! It's so good. It was gonna be so funny.
I'm sure it would have been. Do you want me to keep going and see if it comes to you?
Yes.
Alright, okay. And, like, started as such a small thing, and then it just snowballed. So as soon as I sent the edit into the Discord, that was when all heck broke loose, basically. Because people were like, wait. Some people were like, wait, I can see it. I'm like, yes, join the cult. I'm starting to understand why Bluebird likes Mia so much, considering Mia was in a cult, and Bluebird is now basically a cult leader.
I'm a cult leader, too. We don't talk about that, though. Super secret. I'm gonna have to kill anyone who knows.
But this is going public.
You know my death threats earlier? I will do it.
Guys, she's joking, I promise. She's joking. Please, no, we're fine.
YouTube, don't take our video down. I'm
Please.
sorry. I'm sorry.
You gotta be extra careful. YouTube's extra finicky with that kind of stuff.
Yep.
But anyway, so that's how my week's been going. As I've been trying to, like, multitask and focus on, like, the script to figure out, I've been dealing with all this in the Discord. I don't interact in the Discord very much. But the times I have in this week have been just, like, one thing after another, and it's basically all our, and when I say our, I mean the writer's Discord. It's all our fault. We introduced I don't think anybody really understood the concept of crack shipping in this fandom until we started it, and now it's just, it's gone all down. But it's been very entertaining to watch. It's not something I really take that seriously. I act dramatic for the dramatic sake on the writer's Discord. It's just been a fun thing to kind of excuse me, bring some lightheartedness back into the fandom, because as of late I've been very obviously very opinionated about the whole thing with Liam and everything. So kind of just bringing that lightheartedness back to all of this and just being able to enjoy something silly just for the sake of it has been nice. And chatting with my friends on the writers Discord is very fun. We have a lot of fun there, and a lot of story ideas and stuff has come out of that. There's now quite a bit of fan fiction there up on Archive of Our Own. If you guys want to check that out, God, all of us are writing stuff. So fun. What are you doing, girl?
It's gonna break. It's gonna hurt.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
This is not science experiments. This is not science experiments today.
Science experiments. I love making things explode. I
All
love
right.
committing arson. What?
So, to bring that all together and kind of recap what we talked about today is, has Shiloh and Bros lost the plot? And what do you think about that question?
I feel like I half agree, half don't agree. I feel like they're starting to gain it back a little bit, maybe. But I feel like we should probably get back on track with the whole orb thing.
The orb.
The black smoky thingy.
Yeah. No, I think it is, like, partially yes, partial no. But I think it's an important question to have as a fandom. Because if they care as much about the fans as they say they do, and I believe they do, they need to hear opinions, all sorts of opinions.
Even the hard ones.
And I hope we've managed it. I tried to be very, to give, like, constructive criticism as much as I can this episode. I think we were pretty tame when we were talking about Liam, gonna be honest. We did pretty good. Trust me. I was pretty tame. I tried my very best to, because if we're just screaming, then that's not gonna be a good argument. People are not gonna want to listen to us. So, we gotta make sure we're giving balanced opinions, and hope we will always have balanced opinions on this channel. But yeah, this was fun. I'm glad glad that we finally did it. Happy to see where it's gonna go. So, yep, recap. Talked about, have they lost the plot? I think so in some ways not. Are they kind of indecisive with ships and stuff? 100%. And definitely they need to figure out what they're gonna do. They didn't make up their minds.
They're like me with writing, because it's like I have this one idea, and I go along with it, and then I don't like it anymore, and I rewrite. Like,
Are you in the writer's room?
Huh?
Guys, maybe it's Abby.
No.
No, I'm kidding.
I promise.
No, I'm kidding. She
I
would never
wouldn't do this to you guys.
No, she wouldn't. Trust. But yeah, that's about all we've got for this episode. The main big question that's been on my mind lately over the past few episodes, and if I'm gonna be honest, it's been kind of brewing in my mind ever since season 2 got rolling and we had like the first like 5 episodes, you know, so we're like, where are we going with this, you know? Like, it's just a little less cohesive than season 1 was. Not that season 2 was bad, like I said. And, of course, a reminder, no hate to any of the actors or anybody like behind the scenes. All of the criticism has been like towards the characters or just like constructive criticism about writing decisions, but no hate to any of the actors. Please, even if you agree with some of my stuff that I said, please don't attack the actors. Please don't do that. Let's be kind. Always choose kindness. I would say always choose kindness.
What?
I just gave you like the Bradford side.
Oh, yeah.
Love Bradford.
Love
Alex. Yes.
I'm just right now. I can see Judah and Alex doing Gundam style, and
that's what's going on in her head, guys.
That and with Doggo. Doggo.
Okay, before I completely lose her, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and what?
I said me too.
Oh. Yeah, I hope you guys liked it, and I hope we'll be able to bring more stuff for you soon. I'll try to get some more fun and less depressing episodes coming up. Yippee! But, you know, I make no promises, so catch you on the flip side.
Yep. Adios. Absolute cinema.
Absolute cinema. The confusion on his face. That's what this has been. Absolute cinema.